Hey everybody, before you watch the video, click subscribe. Would you please, pretty please? It would help us at Soul Boom so much. Click subscribe.
My insider's perspective is that in around 1993, Wired magazine came out and very consciously recontextualized the internet as a business phenomenon. They said this wasn't going to be about crazy psychedelic kids in Berkeley writing cyberpunk fiction and taking mescaline and reading Mondo 2000. And
But how did that psychedelic set see that the internet could help the common working man or someone in poverty in Sierra Leone? Did they talk about that at all? These early dreamers?
The early dreamers, I think it would have been secondary to touching the cosmic beam. You know, most people.
I had no idea of the internet's psychedelic origins. You know what I mean? Like
it was very, so what they hired, they intentionally hired psychedelics people because they needed people who were comfortable hallucinating a new reality.
Right. Dreaming up a new reality.
Right. A new virtual place where human beings would be. So who else is going to think up, okay, let's make the computer a desktop.
The engineers aren't going to do it necessarily.
Right.
So 93, Wired magazine
comes and says this is going to be a way to make money.
Yeah. It's a marketplace.
It's a marketplace.
It's an advanced marketplace.
And they said, to make a long story short, that the internet is infinite. It's going to be infinite real estate and lead to what they called a long boom of exponential economic growth around the world, everywhere, forever. The new paradigm. Even Alan Greenspan, chairman.
But they were kind of right.
In a way, it could promote a kind of exponential growth. But what they also said, which was also right, was that even though the internet has infinite real estate, there's a limit of human attention. So they said, we're going to move into an attention economy. And the metric they used for the attention economy was called eyeball hours. Eyeball hours, the number of hours that someone's eyeballs would stay stuck to your content. So the object of the game became, how do you create what they call sticky websites? Remember that term? Stickiness.
Yep.
So you're stuck. I mean, where's your internet? Where's your information superhighway? No, now it's like flypaper. They even had ads showing flypaper.
I get my weekly report 6 hours a day. Sometimes this phone is on 6 hours a day. Now that can be podcasts when I'm driving and YouTube videos of really interesting lectures. Nonetheless, the algorithm has won.
Oh yeah. I mean, think about the back in the day when you would go online, you were actually, the person you were online was smarter than the person you are in real life. Because to go online back then, I know this is old time, kids. You would have your computer and a phone.
I said you were Grandpa Internet. That's what I said.
You'd plug the computer into a modem, which plugged into the phone. It would dial up to a computer. It would download the conversation.
I remember when you had to pick the phone number that you would dial to go.
And then you would disconnect and you would have all the time in the world to read the conversation and to compose your own 1 or 2 paragraph response to it. Was like chess by mail. Then you'd log back in and upload and then wait a few days to see what these smart people had to say about what you said. So it was this slow global conversation about everything. And yes, that's where you would talk about kids in Sierra Leone and how are we going to help this and do that, and a new economy and a cypherpunk this and new currencies. And once we were in an attention economy, it shifted. You see, the original psychedelic internet, if you want to think of it as psychedelic, you know, and use like Timothy Leary's model of psychedelics, he always said that.
But William Gibson too, necromancers in that realm.
That the quality of your psychedelic trip depends on your set and your setting, right? The mindset that you have when you're taking the drug and the setting in which you do the drug. So the original set and setting of the internet, which is arguably an almost psychedelic level media. Even Leary said it. I took him online the first time. I took him on Mosaic, the first time he went on the web.
You took Timothy Leary online for the first time?
Yeah, on the web anyway. I think he had used some internet, but not a browser. And he said, Doug, this is more powerful than acid.
The Soul Boom Podcast. Subscribe now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you get your stupid podcasts.